What's up, you guys? It's Zamara, and today I bring you a topic inspired totally by a Twitter trend, and it is called hashtag how to deal with an ex. And I said to myself, you know what? I love talking about relationships. I like talking about my personal experiences. And I do remember referencing a thing or two about this in the past, but I did not have entirely a video on how I deal with my exes. So let's dive into it. I'm going to divide this into two parts. And the reason is because I happen to have only two exes in my life. And they are both so different that it is going to make the flow of my thoughts just much better. So here we go. Let's deal with ex number one. This was between the years 2009 and 2010. So, basically, I was with this guy for almost 2 years. Our anniversary would always be on February the 7th, but our relationship ended on December 2010. So, anyways, with this guy, the way it ended was, we just had our differences. I was fed up, and I guess he was fed up with the fact that I was fed up, despite trying for us to still be together. I just lost my interest. Something disappointed me so greatly, and to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what it was anymore. But I just said, look, dude, I think I'm through. I think I'm done. So you also probably can find someone who supports you better. So anyway, we ended, and for whatever reason, I was so aggressive at the time this happened, because I was saying stuff like, make sure that you don't talk to me, make sure that you don't call me, make sure you don't text me, make sure you don't message me. I deleted him from everything, every trace of him, his phone number, his Facebook, everything. I pretty much hit delete on that guy. And the sad part of it is he wasn't really that bad. He really didn't do anything like horribly bad to me. It was just that I was finding him annoying with some of the stuff he was doing. It wasn't against me, but away from me, he was just doing some weird stuff that I just couldn't approve of. And anyways, so I knew that he wouldn't take the news of me wanting to call it quits very well. So that's why I was really emphasizing that, don't talk to me. Let's not communicate. And to sum it up, the way that I deal with this ex is I don't have to deal with him because he's not there with me. He's not bothering me. He's not thinking about me right now. I'm not thinking about him ever, except right now, because hello, the topic brings it. But it's like we parted our ways, and until present day, we don't communicate. So sometimes whenever mom mentions something from around that time period, it may trigger some memories, like she's friends with his godmother, so or stepmother, sorry. So it's only natural that they're gonna be like, oh yeah, so I saw the guy and he's really tall and this and that, and I'm like, alright, but it ends there. So one way to deal with an ex is that you just don't deal with them, and that's via absolute restriction and forbidding of communication. And it's very effective because it didn't even take me that long to get over him, like just a few months. And I personally chose to not date for 2 more years after that, because I just felt like I wanted to just see more people, not necessarily date them, but just meet people's mentalities and to avoid the experience that I had with him from repeating. Alright, so part 2 with my second ex is you can deal with him by simply becoming friends or staying friends, because hopefully you are already dating someone who you are friends with. So, and then in this case, you can choose to stay communicated, but you do so in a healthy manner. Like, you're not bringing up the fights that you guys had. You're not bringing up, you have this mutual respect, the respect about how stuff ended. You just leave it at that and do not bring stuff from the past into the present. And with my second ex, it works so well that we actually talk quite regularly, maybe 4 or 5 times out of the week. And usually what we talk about is movies that are coming out, games that are coming out, our opinions on politics, or the BS that happens in our day when we work, or arguments, altercations with our family. And we tend to hang out maybe once a year or once every 2 years. And as a matter of fact, we hung out on Monday. And this is the first time I see him since, I want to say it was mid 2015 or early 2015. So, you know, it had been a while, and it's not like we are always actively to take up each other's time. You know, I respect the fact that he has his life, and he respects the fact that I have my life. And sometimes he's the one to initiate the conversation, and other times it is me who initiates the conversation. From time to time, I initiate it because I know that he's just one of those people who gets back to your texts quickly. So sometimes I'm like, yo, I need to vent. And it is right now. And sometimes it's like 10, 11, midnight. And, you know, we keep it strictly on life matters. You know, we don't disrespect each other. We don't flirt with each other. We don't behave like we are exes. Anybody who saw us wouldn't even know that we once dated. And, you know, it is possible for you to be friends with someone who you dated. It's all a matter of how you handle the situation. What kind of attitude do you have? And if you have the interest of being friends with this person. If you don't, that's totally understandable. But at the same time, do not try to distill the venom, to name it some way, that you absolutely cannot be friends with a particular someone because of the history that you have. I mean, think about it. It's all a matter of how you handle things. And for me, I can honestly say that I don't have any enemies in my life. Like, I don't think of anybody as, oh wow, you know, this person, I just gotta, you know, there's people who I strongly disagree with and who really get under my skin. But, you know, we handle that whenever the time comes. So, you know, those are really my 2 parts that I had to discuss. It's the part of when you do not deal with it, which is you just don't communicate with them. And then the part where you do deal with it, which is you two understand that you are adults and human beings and you have other things that you can share. That's not, of course, personal or intimate. And yeah, another thing that I guess I should mention that helped me was, although I really didn't have much of a say on this at the time because it was my mother who had control over where I used to live, you can just move as far away as you can from this person. Distance really helps you heal, because for me it just worked, and I think that made it even easier for me to not have to stress myself out or think about this type of matter. All right, you guys, that is really all that I have for you on this matter. What are your experiences with your exes like? I hope it's nothing, you know, violent or aggressive, because it shouldn't be. Dating or being with someone is about, you know, seeing if you guys are like compatible and you can maybe spend the rest of your life together. But just because you end, it doesn't have to be bad. You just You just need to learn to handle things healthily and establish a good, peaceful, mature conversation. And just value each other as human beings, because this person might help you. My second ex, for example, there have been times in which he has gotten me out of tight situations. Like sometimes I've been a little short of money, so he has lent me some money. Other times I have concerns with my car, and he tells me, the best ways to handle those things, how to fix those things myself, or what to watch out for if I do have to get him to the service shop, and just taking care of me. So we should do that for each other no matter who we are. And all right, you guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.